What is up, YouTube? I'm Galdite74 here, bringing you our Week 10 battle of the PEBA. This week we take on Tangela Boots, coach of the Twin Leaf Tangelas. This is a game I've been looking forward to for a very long time. We are going into this record with a 6-3 record, while he is going into this game with a 7-2 record. Now, based off that, obviously, he has a better record than us because he is the conference leader of our current conference. And if we beat him pretty badly in this game, which I doubt, we could possibly take that from him. We beat him in the CKBL before, which was our first ever battle, and we're going to hope to beat him again in this battle. But we'll see how it goes. We have some very special help this week, as you guys saw in the introduction, and, I'll get to that in a little bit, but there's that. But before we get into the actual team builder, I wanted to mention that we did make a transaction right before the trade deadline. We traded with Slick Panther, we got rid of Tangrowth, and we picked up Reuniclus. Now, unlike Hitmontop, I did actually really enjoy using Tangrowth this season. However, I think Reuniclus is going to help the team a lot more. It was one more point than Tangrowth, but since I made that transaction earlier, I gained a point from it. So that was pretty cool. This allows me to not auto-lose the Psychic types anymore, because that was just brutal every week at this point. Because I know Reuniclus is a Psychic type in its own, and I could have picked up a Dark type, but Reuniclus, in my opinion, is top 5 bulky Psychics, obviously. So we're going to try and run with that. As well as, I did like to double down on the physical defense with Hippo and Tangrowth, but my special defense was kind of lacking, thus Reuniclus gives me a nice, either AV user or just a big specially defensive wall in general, and I didn't really need the speed. I was a little bit lower. I still have a Regenerator, I have a lot of recovery still, a Calm Mind. I think Reuniclus is just going to fit the team a little bit better than Tangrowth. Not to say that Tangrowth is a bad mod, I think Tangrowth is really good, but I think Reuniclus fits this team better. So that was a transaction we made. Without further ado, we're going to get into the team builder. And I am just noticing that I got rid of Tangrowth the week before I faced Tangela Boots. So, what a weird coincidence that actually meant to happen. I could have brought Tangrowth and made a weird type of set, but, whatever. We're going to get into his team. His team is a very Tangela Boots type of team. His team consists of Manaphy with Z moves, Mega Altaria, Gliscor, Scizor, Nihilego, Snorlax, Alakazam, Rotom Heat, Vrizian with Z moves, Lancer with Z moves, and Dilly. Again, this is a very Troy type of team. He loves Scizor to death. I know he likes Manaphy a lot, and I believe he likes to use Mega Altaria as well. And just the overall battle style of this team, as it's more kind of either bulky offense and everything's more of a threat rather than having that one big threat. I know that kind of vibe is good for his team as well. But things on his team that are annoying, Snorlax is always annoying, Gliscor is annoying. A lot of things are just more annoying than anything. Mega Altaria can be a threat if you let it set up, and I think Nihilego as well if you let it get boosted. That's what I'm trying to say. But that is a really quick rundown of his team. I'm not going to break it down in detail because let's be real, guys. This game's not going to be taken that seriously if I haven't made it obvious already. But that is his team. The team I am rocking out with this week is Straight Fire. We have Tentacruel. We have our special helper of the week in Bidoof. We got Mega Diancie, Volcarona, Reuniclus, and Rotom Frost. As I just mentioned, our first mon of the week is Tentacruel. Tentacruel is running a max attack, 216 speed with the Jolly Nature with 40 HP, sub SD, Waterfall, and Poison Jab. This very surprisingly does decent against this team in all seriousness. Not even as a joke set. This is actually the win con of the week because I wanted to have my win con be a little more of a meme. And this actually does pretty good work against this team because water and poison coverage, he doesn't really have much switch-ins outside of a bulky Scizor maybe, or a bulky Manaphy, but if it's a bulky Manaphy, then it's not going to be touching me back. Again, he's going to be bringing some weird stuff too, so I'm fully not really expecting some standard stuff. So we're going to see how this Tentacruel rocks out. It's going to be my way to win late game, because I'm still going to try and win the game, obviously, but I'm going to try and have fun with it as well. So that's Tentacruel. Next up, we got the best mod on the entire team. We got Bidoof. Bidoof is rocking the Eviolite with 248 HP, 196 defense with an Impish Nature, a little bit of Spadef and a little bit of speed. This is the outspeed Snorlax. Stealth Rock, Super Fang, Toxic Taunt. It's best rocks because it's going to get the rocks up guaranteed. I'm going to spread Super Fang across his team like crazy. Thus, I could say Bidoof did a lot of work in the game. Toxic Taunt to make sure nothing gets out of hand. So that is a really quick Bidoof set. I have Unaware because Simple is not really helpful in this matchup. But hopefully Bidoof can snag a kill with Toxic or something like that, or Rocks. I don't know. I want Bidoof to get a kill in some type of way without straight up dying. So there's that. Next up we have Mega Diancie. Mega Diancie is running max attack, 240 speed with a Jolly Nature, and 16 in HP. Only 2 moves being Sharpen and Last Resort. I love Last Resort. I wanted to have Explosion on the set, but I feel like Last Resort would help me out in the long run in a bit. But a 160 base power +1 Last Resort is going to nuke almost everything on his team, or at least do a solid chunk, except for like Nihiligo. Even Nihiligo was taking like half, I think. I was checking the calcs. Scizor and Cradilly. But outside of those 3 mons, it's going to be doing a lot of damage to everything. Even Gliscor. He's not going to bring a physically defensive Gliscor, let's be real. So that is something I really want to try out. I hopefully getting it off, because I had to Mega Ball first turn, thus I lose defenses. And Dynasty defensively actually has a really kind of a bad matchup this week, so hopefully I'm able to get this off, and hopefully it'll be able to work. But if it does, it's going to do a lot of damage. Next up, we have Volcarona. We have a trapping set. It is 248 HP, 176 defense with a bold nature, and 84 in speed. Moves being Fire Spin, Roost, Toxic, HP, Ice. The only thing I cannot Fire Spin plus Toxic together and do significant damage to is Gliscor, and HP Ice is right there for that. So that is the little tech I got going on for there. While everything else that is that I can defensively check, like Virizion that doesn't have Stone Edge, or I don't know, Snorlax, for example, I could Fire Spin Toxic down. So that is the set. It's there to legit get at least 1 kill. This is make sure I don't get 6-0'd completely, because let's be real, this team is interesting to say the least. So hopefully this set would work out. Next up, we have our newest member of the team, though I have used this in the past before. We have Reuniclus. Reuniclus is running max HP, max attack with a modest nature, and 8 in speed. Holding the wide lens, moves being Gravity, a Psyshock, a Focus Blast, and Thunder. This is probably my most standard set on the entire team, because they're pretty strong moves and I have good investment for it. The thing is, the catch here is that I really hate Focus Blast and Thunder. Like, I hate 70% accurate moves so much, and forcing myself to run them this week was just painful. But if I am able to use Gravity, that increases the accuracy to over 100, thus I can just land those moves consistently. Psyshock is so anything for real doesn't get out of hand, and I can actually Psyshock something down to death, so there's that. And I have Regenerator to switch out and regain health for later on. If I almost ran Magic Guard Life Orb, but just in case I needed some defensive utility, I decided to keep Regenerator there in the end. So that is Reuniclus. I almost brought a physical set, but I decided against it in the end, since Tentacruel is already physical, and Diancie as well. And lastly, we have Rotom Frost. Rotom Frost is running the Assault Vest with some weird investment here. The goal for I have Ominous Wind, Blizzard, Volt Switch, and Him Paragrass, and now I have a rule set for myself for this set. Unless something is getting out of hand, I am only allowed to click Ominous Wind until I get a boost. That is the catch with the set. If I get a boost, Boots is going to have some hard times, but I need a boost first. And that is the goal for the set, and that is the team builder for this week. Really interesting team to say the least. Hopefully Boots has just as interesting teams. We're going to go over the Pokemon Showdown and watch the battle. Alright, we have arrived at Pokemon Showdown, and he did not bring the Gliscor, which is really nice to see. If he is bringing full fire, I fully expect him to bring either a physical Nihiligo or a physical Alakazam, so we're going to hope that happens during the battle. I'm going to lead with our best Rock Setter ever, and Bidoof, as he's going to send out Manaphy. And speaking of physical, turn 1, he is a physical Manaphy, and he is straight up bullying the Bidoof by critting it turn 1. But Bidoof does prove to be the best Rock Setter in the entire game, as he does get up rocks here. And turn 2, when this Scizor sets up a Sword Dance, I'm like, oh crap, I just lost the game. I'm about to get 6-0'd by this Scizor here. But luckily here, he actually goes for the Baton Pass, and I'm just like, oh, no way. And he goes into the Zam, I'm just like, this is great. Because I taunt just so he doesn't get the +6, but he's got a +2 Zam. And he goes for a Drain Punch, and Bidoof straight up eats this attack. And I was mind blown seeing how little damage that did to Bidoof. But we're going to go into Volcarona. It is my defensive wall of the week. He's actually not Magic Guard, if you guys didn't notice that as well. I don't know if he forgot to change that or he meant to do that. I don't know. But here I'm just going to be a little bit cancerous and go for Fire Spin here and then kind of roost stall him out here, because I wanted to show off the set at some point. And what other Mon am I going to do this against rather than Scizor? Because Scizor's got Baton Pass. And Scizor can tank a Fire Spin. So, I mean, this is probably the Mon I'm going to be able to do this on, unless Virizion doesn't have, like, Stone Edge or whatever. So here I'm going to just roost up 1 or 2 more times here, as Fire Spin's going to do its job. I wasn't counting turns, and I'm not exactly sure how many turns Fire Spin works for, so I just attacked this turn. And, of course, the one turn I attack, Flame Body actually decides to activate for once. And since he doesn't have Magic Guard, he actually will take damage, and he would have went down that turn, but, you know, whatever. Alakazam's going to go down, and Velcorona actually gets a kill, believe it or not. Here, he goes into Nihilego, and I'm just going to let Velcorona go down at this point, as he does click Head Smash. I'm just like, that is awesome. A nice physical Nihi set. Head Smash is always a nice move. And on my calc, I calc this coming in. Not that Bidoof would do much, but I thought that I would live that hit, and unfortunately Bidoof goes down here. If he was Jolly, it was a roll in his favor, but if he was Adamant, that just kills every time. Believe it or not, this physical Nihilego is actually kind of scaring me at this point, so I'm just going to click Psyshock. To reiterate from the team builder, this Reuniclus is my most standard set, so I just want Nihilego to go down here. Here comes the Manaphy, as I'm just going to click Gravity this turn. As he clicks Knockoff, it does a crap ton of damage. I didn't really calc that, but it just does a lot of damage regardless. He might be either Scarf or... I think he's going to be Scarf because he just switched out. He just switched out instead of clicking U-turn. As I just click Thunder, it does a lot of damage to Scizor, or a decent chunk. And I fully believe he does not have a bug move at this point, so I'm just going to click Focus Blast as he just goes for Bullet Punch, can't talk. And Scizor goes down to the Focus Blast. So we have Reuniclus here, and now here I wanted to switch out and get Regen back, but I didn't want this Virizion setting up, and I just let Reuniclus go down here. It's unfortunate, but, you know, whatever. This was his most standard set, so he has a pretty standard Virizion set. Here, I look at my team, and I'm just like, oh, crap, I would just lose the game. So the only way I could win is again if he has close combat, which he does. He lowers his defense, and maybe I can catch him off guard with a Poison Jab. I have to substitute here because I fully expect him to switch out, as he does, luckily, and he goes into Cradilly. As I'm just going to set up a sub, and I can just start SDing up on this thing, and then I can eventually Poison Jab it down. It's not going to do much initially, but with some boosts, it's going to do a decent amount of damage, as he actually is a setup set himself. He is a curse set. Luckily, I can't outpace him with this. I'm going to set up one more Swords Dance to get a Poison Jab off. At this point, I basically just kind of lost the game because Virizion can come in and clean up since my DNC is not normal. He goes for Seed Bomb, and I'm going to go for Poison Jab, and I crit him. And I nuke the hell out of this crit. That crit definitely mattered. He goes on Virizion here, and the only way he can kill me is with the Z move, and of course he's got it. And it is going to be the Gracium Z, so that is the one thing I did not want to see on my screen, that or crit. And Tentacle's going to go down, and this is basically GG, because again, my Deontay is irregular, and this Leaf Blade here, if he is Jolly, it's a roll, but it's a really, really big roll in his favor, so it's like an 88% chance to knock me out. As it knocks me out, it gets a crit. So that's whatever. And if he was a Scarf Manaphy, then Manaphy would just put it outsped. But GG to Tangelas Boots. Despite the fact that I wasn't talking as much as I thought I would in the Pokemon Showdown comment section, I really, really had a fun game. I always love having meme battles, and this one didn't disappoint me. Facing Boots is always a fun time, even though we only fought him twice, and hopefully we get to face him again in the playoffs with a little more of a serious battle, because I want to see these two teams go at it. But I think Bidoof put in the work in this game as well. Despite it not getting a kill, I was really happy with it. And looking back at it, that Manaphy actually was Scarfed. I did just calc it, so just want to throw it out there. But GG to Boots again. Make sure to go check out his Twitter in the description below. I always link it down there every week. I apologize for the slight stuttering in the narration this week. I just noticed it while re-listening to it. But we're going to drop down to a 6-4 record. We have only one more game left in the regular season, believe it or not. Next week we take on Eevee, coach of the Evergrande Eevees. I have this thing where I've only lose 4 games in a season for some reason. It's like the past 3 or 4 leagues I've been in, I've lost 4 games. So next week I'm going to try and keep that true, and I'm probably going to try a little more. There's going to be less meme sets. So it's going to be more of a serious battle. So look forward to that. That's going to happen next week. That's all I got for you guys. Again, make sure to go check out the description below. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you like Pokemon Draft League content, consider subscribing to the channel. That's all I got for you guys. I'm going to head out of here. Have a fantastic day, YouTube.